Hi everyone, welcome to the end of our course. This is our last video blog. This one is on social justice. After reading through our book of Grinnell and Young, as well as the articles on social justice, kind of an overarching personal golden rule of counseling that seems to keep coming up in my mind on how to best counsel people with justice is to be all things to all people. And there's lots of holes in that line, I understand, but it basically comes out of 1 Corinthians 9 and 10, where Paul is talking about whether when I'm with the Jews, I be what they need at that time. Whether I'm with the Gentiles, I be what they need at that time to focus on the gospel. And I understand what he is saying when he's in the context that he's discussing, is that we, as Paul sits in these different cultural contexts, he sits down and is observing and trying to understand where people are coming from in effort to best serve them. And I think when we step into our therapeutic roles, that we leave aside everything that we think that we want or we need. And the therapeutic relationship is a service to someone. And it's not about me. It's about the client that's in front of me. So everything that I need is off the table. Everything that I desire is off the table. What these articles we're discussing, I read our article that was posted, that Krethler and Winter out of 2012. Through that one and a few others that were cited within that article, what they were saying is that culturally, there's going to be different types of people that we come across. And if I bring all of my ideas about what social justice is to the table, I might actually not benefit the client as well, because I'm still promoting my ideals and my values are important to me. But when my golden rule of counseling about being all things to all people, I have to put down even my ideals about what needs to be promoted in this client's life. What culture are they coming from? And does that then impact my values? And I'm not saying that I can't be a person within that therapeutic relationship, because that needs to happen. But it's not about what I need there. It's about what the client needs. And therefore, some of my values are going to come out. I mean, I'm a Christian, but if I'm counseling a non-Christian, then there's going to be a conflict of values there. And it's no longer about, the way that I see life. It's about the way the client sees life. And I have to focus on those kind of things. The Bible reference that I was just quoting is from 1 Corinthians. The whole chapters of 19 through 23, and then chapter 10, 24 through 33. Just a few of those verses in there was basically the whole context was Paul talking to the Corinthians about, we do have to have balanced lives, but you do realize that when you go into these contexts, it's not about you. And yes, we want to promote the gospel and promote love, but you have to understand where people are coming from first, but you also have to understand where you're coming from. So the things that people try to place on you, you're free to not take those on, but that means that you don't put those on other people as well. So it's that whole mindset that he's coming around of the way that I love someone correctly is not enforcing my beliefs on someone, but understanding where they're coming from, because as the actual old school golden rule says, treat others as you would want to be treated. That's the way that we need to receive love as well. Our article talks about, as a quote, to treat others as you would want to be treated by a counselor. I actually really love the way that's said, because we're supposed to put down our mantle when it comes to it. Yes, I want to be treated a certain way, but the way that I want to be treated is not always what's best for the client, because of the cultural background that I come from. It may not be best for what the client needs at that moment, which that just means that you have to completely lay your life down. And it truly is to be in professional counseling and do therapy. It really is a service, and it's a sacrifice of yourself, because you have to lay everything aside to truly love that person well. And I think that's part of what we're learning in school, is we could put all the professional jargon that we want on it, but I think we're learning how to truly love people well. Um, I also wanted to highlight something that first came to my mind was Micah 6:8 is to promote justice and love mercy and walk humbly with your God. So that was another one that I had that kind of, is written on the back of t-shirts that I actually own. So there's an easy one for you. Actions towards social justice that I want to take in light of what I've been reading, such as Krethlar and Rinthroud. And then I also read another article that was cited in Krethlar and Rinthroud, and it was continued on in the long articles that this was compiled into, was Harris and Richardson. And they just had a lot of really good things to say. And primarily what I got from everything was that we need to stay educated. And that seems like not a social justice action because you think of people going out and doing protests and things like that. But it was more along the lines of stay educated in order to gain understanding about other cultures, because the more that you understand other cultures, then you understand how to promote justice properly for each client. And I think that that's a new way to think about things. You kind of understand originally that social justice is, justice for all, but what does that mean? And does that work in this context? You have to think about American context. You think about sub things underneath America and how we're a conglomerate. And then I travel a lot, so going abroad and gaining understanding in other cultures, bringing that back home kind of helps me, I guess, be more empathetic to situations and how they're tweaked and they're different. And I think that the more that we each expose ourselves to situations that we didn't grow up in, that we're not used to, other faiths, other walks of life, other spiritualities, other forms of education, just even going from different sides of our own country and our own cities, and getting those chats with people to understand their backgrounds, even if they're not if this isn't a therapeutic discussion, I think it's just helping you to gain more understanding. So I think that my big social action would be to just stay educated and have conversations, and just to constantly be proactive about gaining understanding. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you have a good day.